Happy Tuesday. I didn't record yesterday, completely forgot, to be honest, and it's just a bit manic Mondays. Good Mondays, but manic Mondays. I trained legs yesterday, which are getting better, and I can feel my muscles are more fuller and tighter, which is nice because I used to have really good legs. Not that I don't have good legs now, because my legs are okay. They just used to be a bit more like dense. Do you know what I mean? A bit dense. I did a farmer's yesterday, 87.5 a hand for 3 lots of 10-metre drop turns, so 30 metres total. They're all right. A few noises with the but you know, did okay. Started to have a slightly irritated back after. Not really pain. Don't know how to describe it. More like it was stuck. Like it was like something was stuck. So yeah, that wasn't great. And then went on to squats, which moved well, but I only did my top set. I didn't do my back off because I wanted to push myself on the leg press, but I didn't want to risk tweaking my back anymore that then stopped me being able to get range on the leg press. 280 for 20 reps. Now, to some people that's loads, and to others that's not a lot. To me, it's not a lot. I used to be able to rep like 10, 12 solid for 400 without an issue, and it's been a long time. I think a proper leg pressing in my plan when I last did it would have been pretty much a year ago, because then as soon as I hurt my back, which was the prep for England last year, it's always been too high of a risk really to put in when I needed to get better at other things, and the events needed to be like a priority. So yeah, it's nice to have it back. And to be honest, what's filling me with a bit more confidence, and something I'm quite cautious of, is actually we've got squats in, we've got leg press in, we've got all the events in, quite a lot of volume in my training and load, to be fair, like a good balance, and I'm not broken yet. Like, I know we're only on week 3, but before I wouldn't even managed a week, so I'm taking that as quite a positive win. I've managed to pick up other injuries. I bloody hurt my finger trapping it in a plate that's now bruising. I don't think it's going, my nail's going to come off, but it's pretty minging. And then yesterday I did this stupid thing, like, this is fascinating, you can't even see, but on the leg extension where the weights like move up and down on the cable, I managed to get my hand trapped and then drop the weight stack and pinched my hand. I don't, like, that's fascinating as to who can even manage that. Here we are. So today I've got some family stuff to do this morning, then I'll be going to Prevail to do log. I've got a top set of 70 for 3, so that means I'm on the big boy log today, which will be good. I'm quite looking forward to getting back to that, getting a bit of confidence built up in it rather than shying away. Depending on the weather, I might do a bit of bag toss today. My issue is that I do bag toss normally on a Friday, and I haven't done it since we started prep, and Ben's picked up on it this week, so now I actually need to do it. And I haven't done it just because it keeps pissing it down with rain, and for love nor money, I'm just not a rain gal. I'm just not willing to go and train in the pissing down rain. And also the bag gets wet and then it stresses me out because then it's fucking heavier. So, you know, I just don't like it. That's that really. Day's fine today. I've got a little bit of extra time, so I'm going to take myself out and do bag toss today, and then I don't have to rely on the weather on Friday because it's meant to piss it down all weekend. British weather. I'm just going to film my event stuff this week and whack it in. When I put a question out on Instagram about what people want to see on my video, Zoe said nipples, which I'll just save that for our private affair, Zoe. And a couple of other people put about food, so I won't share my food necessarily because it's honestly not fascinating. It's really not. But I will share my tips around food, like the best way to navigate it. And people want food ideas, but Like when you've got the staple of foods, like the world's your fucking oyster, make what you like. But yeah, for now, let's go run some errands, get a bit of training done later.
The weather's turned a bit cold, hasn't it? Bloody freezing. Back on the big boy log. That was 70 kilo log, 3 reps top set, and then some back offs at 57.5, which went all right, to be fair. There's definitely, like before, when I competed last year, it honestly felt like I was so far behind and had to work my bollocks off to catch up. And I am working my bollocks off, I guess, in different ways. Like this time it's more trying to refine like little bits and the techniquey bits rather than it being necessarily about the weight, which actually somebody tossed something that I really struggled with last year and spent a lot of time and a lot of throwing to try and perfect and get tidier. The biggest thing I need to work on is like generating power in the swing straight off the floor rather than putting it in one hand, getting momentum and then throwing it, because that's where I lose time. Like my track record of sandbags at the comps last year is I've always been able to finish them, just nowhere near as quick as everybody else. So I I took a bit of like the turtle on hare approach last year. This time I would like to be more like the hare, to try and work on that. And to be honest, I think some of it's confidence. Like in my head, I'm so wired to swinging it and putting it back and then throwing it that it's just like a movement pattern, and not having the confidence just to pick up and launch, it just feels a bit alien. But that's something that I need to work on. And we also struggle at Prevail because we don't have lots of throw bags. I think there's like 5 or 6 in total, and the heaviest is like 30 kilos, the lightest is 7 or 8, and then it goes from like 8 to 12 and a half, and then the next one's like 17 and a half, and I can't get a run, and I think that makes it harder to practice the launch and go because I just can't get a run of bags. I'm having a rest day today, obviously just doing my cardio, having a rest day and going to Prevail this evening for Iron Queens. Very much look forward to it. Lots of new women coming in to like try new things and the strength sport side of things, and that's nice, really nice. And then tomorrow I'll be in my suit doing deadlifts, which I'm planning on filming, hoping that my Cerberus suit turns up today or tomorrow so that I can wear it and actually try it out properly. If not, probably use one of Ben's, I don't know. Either that, or I might just say to him, can I swap it over and do raw this week and suited next week? So I'm training with Zoe next week and we could do that together. I don't know. I never know. On Friday I'll have Zercher, yoke and sandball. I sometimes wish I filmed my prep last year, and I didn't, because I just didn't have the time between doing my degree and bits like that and then having to edit the videos and stuff. And to be honest, like, I had no confidence at all, and I have more confidence in myself and my abilities now. It's definitely not where it should be, but it's better than last year. But it would have been interesting to see last year actually, like, the mentality and the lows, because there was a lot of fucking lows last year. It's the bit about comparison, and it's hard because naturally you don't want to compare yourself to everybody else, but at the same time, for me, like last year, it was trying to compare if I was good enough to stack up against the people that were competing, like if I was good enough to just qualify. It was never about being the best or any of those things, but for me, I just wanted to qualify for UKs and I just wanted to qualify for Worlds. And where I landed in Worlds, like ideally I wanted top 10, but I thought that was a bit of a pipe dream. So to get 6 was like mental, actually mental. Still feels a bit mental. I do sit with it more now, and I am a very slow processor, so I am always thinking about what I need to do next and moving life forward. But I am a shit for sort of forgetting to live in it, and sometimes for me it's quite, they're so big that I don't know how to sit with the feeling, because it's a big feeling. And it's a positive big feeling. So normally, like, we associate big feelings with like negative things, like when people are angry and it's turning into rage, or when people are sad and it's turning into depression, or people are worried and it's turning into anxiety. And we associate those big feelings with negative ones, but like, I didn't know how to sit with, I guess it's like pride, but on a ridiculous scale. Like, and when I climbed Ben Nevis when I was 21.5 stone, and everyone was like, yeah, she'll never manage that, and I got to the top, sat at the top and just sobbed, and I thought, fucking hell, Vicky, 4 hours 10 minutes you climbed like the highest mountain in the UK, despite what everyone thought. And I've always had that bit in me, and that was probably the last time. So that was in like 2021 maybe, that I ever felt that like abundance of like overwhelm of happiness. And then when I never really got that from competing, I got it when we did Lincolnshires, but not to the same scale. Like, that's how I can describe it. Like, I was shocked that I won Lincolnshires and like proud of myself for doing it, but not the same as it was when I did Ben Nevis. And since my surgery, there's always been like a part of me missing, and it's not something I talk about very much. It's almost like the bit in me that can genuinely feel happy and that can achieve anything and has like limitless belief. That bit just diminished post surgery, and I never felt like myself. And then a couple of weeks ago was the first time that I sat there and I thought, fuck it. Like, normally I overthink and I think about everybody else's perspective, and as much as I come across quite blunt some of the time, like underneath that I always consider everybody else's feelings and the situation and how it might play out, and actually what's the best way to navigate this. I'm not really like balls to the wall kind of person. A few weeks ago I finally had that bit in me that clicked back and was like, nah, fuck this, like, you owe it to yourself now, Vicky. And it was very fleeting, it didn't last very long, but that's the first time in 2 years, nearly 3, that I've had that glimmer of like me being back and not feeling like I have to shrink down or not upset anyone or disrupt the pack and any of that, like, because that's how I've very much lived my life. And a lot of that people probably won't really understand as much. Just finished talking while I'm in the shed, why not? A lot of that has come from not having a sense of safety in myself, and this is the bit that people like probably neglect, even on their fat loss journeys, and when people start to turn back to like old habits and stuff, is there are many times from being 28.5 stone to now that I hit a point and I think that I'm too far gone to go back to how I was, but I'm not enough yet secure where I am to feel like I can push on. And it's a bit like you're floating in no man's land, and it's really fucking hard really, really hard to try and take the next step, because even that feels like it's too much, but going backwards just isn't an option. And I think that when I had the surgery, little did I know that my whole sense of self got lost the minute I had surgery. Mental, right? So I was living up north, started like a job up there. I had a partner until like a few weeks out from surgery, and it broke down. And yeah, it was like a difficult time to navigate. And I came home for a bit, and then I had to go back up north to work. But fucking functioning with the level of surgery and scars that I had was hard. Like, to start with, I couldn't get dressed, I couldn't wash my hair, I couldn't do anything on my own, and like pushing through that every day and having to rely on other people to help me is something I still struggle with now. Like, I'm very independent, I like to do things on my own and manage myself, and of course, like, I am really lucky that I am surrounded by the best bunch of friends ever, but actually in those moments it didn't matter who I had, like, I was still alone. And the sense of safety that I used to have in being able to show up for myself and be independent and like, fuck everyone, it don't matter what they think, I'm gonna do me, actually diminished because I had to rely on other people. And then that's where it sort of stemmed. And then what I learned, like at different parts before surgery, but then surgery made it even more apparent, is being bigger and having that level of body fat was my armour. It was like a physical armour. Like, no one could touch me. I was never scared of anything. In fact, one of my friends pointed out the other day, because I was saying that I'm struggling to go for morning walks because it's dark, and she was like, mate, you used to walk in the dark with your headphones on, and I used to worry about you, thinking she'd get mugged and no one would know. And those bits never crossed my head, like never entered my head before, but now it's something that stops me. The thought that I couldn't look after myself or protect myself if something went wrong. And it's very much like that all the way for the last 3 years. Things that I won't do because I feel like I couldn't. And what happened is, for me, I was trying to, I guess, navigating, swapping my safety being bigger and no one touching me, no one being near me, and always being able to protect myself in my fatness, to trying to swap that to being strong. And I never developed the recognition of the fact that I was even strong. And I mean, I do more now, like I know I'm stronger than the average female, which also comes with like negative connotations, if I'm completely honest, that I guess I'm still trying to navigate. But my sense of safety in being able to protect myself has started to come back, and that only happened, the first epiphany was like 2 weeks ago. So fucking nearly 3 years post surgery have I actually felt like myself. Mental, right? And I always think it's important to talk about, because it's something that people don't get. Like when you drop a load of body fat and you look different, and this association that your happiness lies in that look, like it just doesn't. And it can pose other threats and challenges, especially people that are like high on that like obese scale, like morbidly obese. There's generally a reason that you've got to that point, and it's not just because you fucking eat loads and you don't move. Like there's some psychological thing that's underpinning that need for how you've got how you are. So I never think that I was ever lazy at 28.5 stone. I was quite active. I'd go on hikes, I did netball every week, and yes, my food consumption, I didn't sit there at night and binge 20 bags of fucking crisps and 10 packets of cakes. Like that isn't what happened. But equally, I go to work, and this is the understanding of nutrition that I didn't have. There's like a level of learning in it too. But I go to work and have peanut butter on toast, and I mean like an inch thick peanut butter. I had no fucking idea of the volume of calories that are in peanut butter. And I'd have butter on my bread too. Then I might pick at a few sweets in the sweet jar. I'd have fruit and milk with the kids and have a bit of fruit. And then at lunchtime, well, it varied. If I was lucky, I'd have a wrap or something. If I wasn't, then I wouldn't have anything. I worked all the hours God sends. So I started work at like 8 in the morning, finished the school at like 3:30, and then I'd go straight out and do domiciliary care at 4 o'clock until 10 o'clock at night. And that would be my weeks. And then on a weekend, sometimes I'd work at the residential place and do 13-hour shifts on a Saturday, Sunday. Like, that wasn't because I was lazy. It's because I was fucking running. And while I was out doing the domiciliary care, I'd probably have a bag of sweets and a takeaway, like pick up a Mackey's on the way or something like that. So I didn't eat in massive consumption. I just ate high calorific foods a lot. It's important for people to never judge other people. Like, and even if someone watches this now and thinks of me a certain way, or you know, they see me in the gym and how I am in the gym, because Vicky training in the gym is very focused, probably a resting bitch face, and driven. Like Vicky at any time is fairly chill, always like quite helpful and professional, and Vicky at Prevail is like just bantery. And it depends on the person and the situation. So, and people would meet me now and think of me of a certain way, but actually like no one knows anyone's story. And the point in me doing YouTube now is because I want people to know that it's okay like the things you're facing now in terms of a comp prep, and it's not just about training, it's the fucking mindset shit that goes around it. And when you're sitting on Instagram scrolling and looking through all the other girls and thinking you're not good enough and why are you even bothering, and the times that you have a meltdown that training didn't go the way you want, like those are normal. The bit that we have to work on is how we manage that and keep moving forward. So yeah, first thing is waffle. A wrap for week 3 training. Been all right. I was on a right high after my event session yesterday, which quickly dwindled because I did something wrong, like how I should have done Zercher wasn't how I did it, and then I just annoyed myself, and yeah, hormones are kicking my ass. But it's been a good week. I'm not broken. We'll take that as a win. I know I haven't spoke about food. That is because TED Talks by Vicky happened. Who knew? So I will touch on food next week. But anything that anyone wants or to ask or for me to talk about, then feel free to drop a message. See what we can cooperate.